All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This is Marlon Mack, third-year running back. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 24-yard line.
Ready. Mike. Off. Watch right. We got right. Now watch right. Let's go. Bravo.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side, but for lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
It's 3rd and long for Brissett. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's set away. Returnable for Grant. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10.
Tighten up. 24.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Watson with a give to Miller. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. On 1st down, Watson. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
You got 4.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. To the air yet again, Watson. And that will be incomplete. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
And this one is right down the middle. No one attempted or made more field goals at Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use them a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's the second-year back out of NC State, Naheem Hines. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll try and run for this with Mack. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the slant, watch the slant. Motion, motion.
This is Miller. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Play action from Miller. Now Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First down, Texans.
Watson off play action. And he finds a man with a crossing route. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Under 10. Watch out.
They'll go with a draw. Watson hands to Miller. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 8-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Switch. No. Come down. Check 31. Out.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long.
This is it. Come in, T. Mike 50, Big dance. Go. Check the leg. Check 99.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And the lead grows to 10-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
At the 19-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play fake, Brissett. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. A gain there of 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, He looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw on second down. Brissett under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the gun, here's Brissett. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
Nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called a desperation time. Face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
3rd and 7.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
And we're going 37 is the Mike. Mike 37. Watch the flag. 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 Look. Check. Crunch. Go. Slide.
On play action, Brissett. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Aaron Colvin. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Head set. 50 to Mike. 50 to Mike. I got it. Shift. Watch the shift.
After the interception, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. To the right side, complete to Miller. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
10th carry now for Lamar Miller.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
What's that? 18. Hey, watch the screen.
Watson on 3rd down. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And the lead now increases to 20-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Well, a decent little gain puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Yeah.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day, all day.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Mike 37, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Everybody ready?
On 1st and 10, Brissett, and he fires one incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And all this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the 2nd straight play. Right now, I'm just wondering where they turn on offense, Charles. I know we're not in the 4th quarter, but 2nd quarter haven't scored and struggling to move the ball.
I don't think they abandoned the run game totally, but maybe you change up your tempos. Maybe you go a little bit faster, try and catch them back on their heels a little bit to try and accomplish what you want to get done.
Undercrook.
On 3rd down, Brissett. And he gets it to Funchess complete. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Jim. Take forward. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Right.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett. He'll let this go for the end zone. That ball caught by Funchess. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Devin Funchess, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7.
Next to score, Texans 20, Colts 7.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 19-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now it's Miller.
Watson.
You got it! You got it! You got it!
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Probably be the last play of the quarter.
Right there. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long one.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they acted. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but we're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz?
58, boys, 58. 58, Mike. Every heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Watson. He's got Fuller. And he is going to lose yardage here. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First target, first catch, and a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Miller will get it. He has been busy today. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. They keep it with Miller on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Staying open. Staying. 2 points down, he's coming. 58, Mike.
Throwing on second down. Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half.
Caught left side, Hopkins. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 22-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Rush in.
From the gun, here's Watson. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On the ground with a tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Check three. Hey, look.
Now a run with Mack. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check. Lucky.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Mack. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
3 down.
On first down, Hines stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Pick it up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Here we go, D. It's just me and you.
Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And Vinatieri's kick is good. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is second and less than a yard. They'll run it again with Miller. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
This is it. 19.
Mike 50. All you get is the hand. All you get is
54. Line up, go.
I got it. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Third and 2. Watson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't.
Looking to throw on second down. Brissett. Funches has it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Single receiver. Hey,
First down. First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
First down, Brissett rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. On second down, here's a run with Mack. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or feet or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
3rd and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
A first down throw for Brissett. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Here now is second and 10, again from the 41.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now Brissett. And this is incomplete. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Set to throw on first. And this one's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Brissett. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Come on, set. Not a wolf. 37. Got to.
They go play action with Brissett. Going for it all. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Paris Campbell, touchdown number 15 of the year. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a 1-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Again, it's Miller. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Watson with a give to Miller. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
On 2nd down, it's Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark.
So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Motion, motion. 24. 58 is the mic. Go 58 is the mic. Double dog. That's the way.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Trent Sherfield, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Get ready.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm willing to continue. And I think that
he's got a man complete. That one goes for 30 yards.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
A gain on the play.
Let's go.
That's good for the Colts.
Let's go, D. Every go 37 is the mic. Mike 37.
At the 45-yard line.
Brissett. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 23 yards, the final tally. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now Brissett. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Brissett. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So with exactly a minute to play, here comes a critical onside kick.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Set. Ready, team. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Down to a knee goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game.